on, guys? It's me, Train Man.
TBA Avenger.
Well, it's actually the ghost of TBA Avenger. He's dying of coughing sickness over here.
Speaking of...
As if on cue. Okay, you're in charge of thrusters. That's the thing that needs to do.
Alright. Rest in peace, headphone users.
Well, it wasn't that loud to me, but I never get any sense of how loud something is, for whatever reason. There are only 300 steel plates left. We need more of them.
Okay, hold on. What do we need?
Several thousand steel plates.
I need... What do we need for this? We need... Oh, you put... Okay.
I don't care. Well, again, work on that. If you need to hijack my steel plate...
We need platinum. That's the biggest thing we need.
Alright, well, take the mining ship. If it currently works. Oh yeah, it's right here.
Yeah,
that's right. It isn't. It's not crippled or attached to anything.
No, it's fine.
No, fine is sort of a word for it.
Where's the asteroid? There's the asteroid.
Just need to build. The asteroid is down.
Let's go look for platinum.
I just need to build a roof. I need to adjust the walls of the cargo bay, small ship bay. So that's the word. To adjust the walls of the small ship bay to get them to be the right shape, because they aren't the right shape right now.
I found some. Yes. Platinum.
Other than that, it's going to stay open because building big doors is difficult and buggy.
Yeah, the pistons are not the safest thing.
Yeah, I don't want the rear end of my ship exploding, aside from space pirates.
Have you seen that?
And diarrhea.
Somebody's... Oh god. But somebody had pistons and the side of the ship just detonated itself. It was pretty bad.
The only acceptable causes for rear-end explosion are butt pirates or Taco Bell.
Never place your rear end on a pirate's face.
Yar. Get rid of these. I just put them here and now I need to get rid of them. Right before we started, I welded these sections, and then I came around the back here and realized that I built them wrong.
What do I got? I got a lot of platinum here.
Oh yeah?
Get platinum.
Weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
Did you see the thing I posted with Thomas the Thug Engine?
Yes.
That was hilarious.
I was like, oh my god. It's my fear exactly.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember why I posted it. You're worried about a train coming through your house.
Kind of.
Perfectly relevant, of course. River vent.
I also got some.
We never went in and refined the design on Project Shogun.
Redesign it?
It just needs refinement. It needs to be less of a brick.
Yeah. It needs more.
By the way, for suspense's sake, no, it just needs less armor. For suspense's sake, we shouldn't directly
talk about it.
I suppose. I mean, we can talk about it, but we shouldn't address directly what it is or what it's for. Either way, we punctured the Lacedaemon with it, so I think it has enough or too much armor.
No, it has enough. I mean,
and it flies like a brick, so it definitely has too much.
It looks... It is a brick.
Yeah.
Wrong way. Gotta go to the rear end of the Hyperion. Hello, Ellis. Look behind you.
Speaking of flying like a brick, I'm about to take the P-51 out of my lineup.
Yeah, finally. It's not the greatest plane. Oh, there was one of those flying around my house.
A P-51?
It was so beautiful.
That's cool.
It was a P-51D.
Man.
15. Look out, I'm about to squish you with the...
How about you don't do that? There are other places to park, you know.
No, there aren't.
There are two, and I'm only at one of them. I'd be violating causality if I were in two places at once, even though I've done it before. You're good. You can just hit P. There you are. I stepped back from the Hyperion to make sure it wasn't going to go all to make sure it wasn't going to go all vigorous on us. It sounded like TBA is about to die. He needs to go hack up a lung or something. Alright, so we've got 88 steel plates. That's not enough. We're processing cobalt. We're missing iron.
Alright.
What? Missing iron. How did we run out of iron already?
What?
Process that. I'll make a little bit of the... Just a handful of the steel plates.
I think we should be making...
Oh, suddenly there are no assemblers on the ship. Okay, well, hold on. Let me figure that out. Okay, now there are assemblers on the ship.
Oh. Production. We don't need... Oh my god, we don't have iron now?
Yeah, I know, we ran out of iron in the meantime. For me, building roof.
Okay. Well, there's 20 crystal components.
And that's all my steel plates. Okay, well. Let me see if there's anything. I'm gonna go and check on the Hyperion, then if you want to run out and grab a big load of iron. I'm gonna try and de-bend some of the nice plating on the Hyperion.
Okay.
God, this is messed up.
Oh no. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Just keeps having to walk away. He's going to visit the hospital bed in which he resides. Don't panic, guys. He's not actually in the hospital. I'm just making a bad joke. Okay, so that's all of the fixing we're going to be able to do. Other than that, we need some steel plates, unsurprisingly. Can I get in the Red Dawn? Oh, down. Whoa. Oh, I turned off the gravity generator on here, didn't I? Yeah, back into the rear end here. Yeah, I turned it off. So, get in here. Did I put anything useful in here? Take the scrap metal and process it. I'm pulling useful things out of the Hyperion.
Look for thruster components.
There are 39. I'll take them.
Okay.
We got plenty of ammo in here. If we had the... Basically, if it didn't have a huge hole taken out of it, this thing would be ready for action.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, we're missing a very large portion of the armor around the engine room.
Yeah. Iron, let's go get iron.
Actually, I wish I had Ogili's here just so you would color the ship. Because it looks really bland right now. Let's see. What's the other stuff I brought with me? Oh, that's right. Take it off. That was a really cool shot for a minute there. I looked over and I see you in the mining ship flying out and away from the Hyperion. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. I'm going to use these thruster components on something. I'm going to pick a thruster. Any thruster. This one. Alright, that is most of its thruster components. The patented thruster clusters. Those are only good for small ships that don't need armor. What's going on over here? Oh, are these... I'm gonna try and... Oh, crap. And he's out of the call. Anyways. Okay. Let me navigate this thing towards... you know, the rest of our stuff. It's kind of far away from my tastes. That's better. It's completely screwed up in relation to position, but... it was in my ship. Where was he? Where was he and where's my ship? TBA! God damn it, TBA! I'm gonna have to make him walk the plank or something. Seriously? TBA. I know you can't hear me, but I know you're gonna watch this video. The hell? Okay, let me find my ship. No, seriously, that is a good question. Where's my mining ship? I need it back. If anything, I need to use it and get some iron ore and finish this episode by, I don't know, building. Or just scouring the surface of the asteroid for an iron ore mining ship that may or may not exist. Did he park it? Was I not paying attention and he parked it? Ooh, that was a hole. That was a rift in space-time right there. No, it's not parked. Okay, TBA, where the hell is my spaceship? Dude, where's my car? Like, seriously, how far would he have flown it to get iron? Did he bring it into the old tunnels or something? That's not the old tunnels. Yes, it is. Could you actually pilot the drill ship through here? I mean, it's feasible. It's probably floating away now, and we're never going to get it back. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. It's out here somewhere. This is what you need the ship scan mod for. He's our mod manager, by the way, for when we move to Infinite. Oh, there you are. Knew we wouldn't go far. Alright. Lights! Check the inventories. Alright, so we've got that. Let's just fill this thing up with iron because we're gonna need it. So anyways, tomorrow there's another Terminus podcast coming out, for those of you that somehow missed that but still watch this series, which is one of the lower in view count. I appreciate those of you that do watch it very much, because, well, I just don't play a lot of Space Engineers, and this is one of the games where I can do these huge builds with, well, friend singular in this case, because Achilles is MIA, and Milky is, well, Milky's got a shoddy computer. Anyways, our full array. Alright, we've got some of the volume filled up. I wonder if he's ever going to come back, or if he's gone. I didn't want to do an episode by myself. I waited until very late in the evening so that he could be in it. Just for selfish reasons, really. I didn't want to have to commentate. I didn't want to have all the pressure of talking placed on me, even though God knows I do that too much. So, you know, here we are just clearing this out, and that's all we're going to be doing today, then. I wanted someone to help me build my thruster components, because those are what's going to be holding back the Hyperion from leaving and going to the Infinite World. We've got, you know, one on each cluster done thereabouts, but not quite, not completely. Are we full yet? Very nearly. Okay, good timing. Let's get out of here. Having a fleet is just cool. That's one of the best things about this game. Being able to have a fleet of ships that you can call your own. I should replace some of these ground blocks with heavy armor, just for the sake of what's the word? You know, I can't figure out the word. For the sake of not hitting things with the thrusters. Down, down, over, down a little more. There we are. And the inventories are cleared out. Move this to the arc furnaces. Let's just make this 7K and put it ahead of the cobalt because it's far more important. These components. Still missing platinum, I see. See, playing Space Engineers with friends is far better than playing Space Engineers alone. Because there's so much stuff to do when you're building a ship, in survival at least. Creative players aside. Creative's really cool and creative's really fun and you can do that sort of stuff on your own if you just have an idea. But, you know, building a massive ship like the Hyperion, for example, and the Hyperion, to be honest, really isn't that massive. To us, it's a large undertaking because we just don't have a lot of the tools and stuff. We've been struggling to build a decent, you know, a decent sort of combination, not the Aerosmith kind, just the, putting some utilities on a ship. We've been struggling to do that kind of thing for whatever reason, and that would, of course, speed up things immensely. But oh well, that's kind of a project that's fallen by the wayside a little bit. Alright, we got some lights. Some lights in the small ship bay. Maybe we could lay these down in strips like landing lights. They'd help. You know, I was thinking of a way to sort of set them up so that you could use them when you're guiding yourself in from the top to figure out where you need to position yourself. Let's, okay, what we're gonna do, let me put these back. You don't even need to do that. All you have to do is weld it, apparently. And move those into refinery 2. Platinum is very important right now, so let's go for 5,000 in here. Confirm it's full of iron. Move 10,000 of it into this arc furnace and smelt the other into there, and then I can move the platinum properly. It's all about resource management. If I could have someone that only does the resource management on the ship and gets the right things produced, I would totally have that person aboard, but that isn't a thing. Not right now, at least. We don't have enough people for that. Move the stone to the back. There's never really going to be much need to refine a lot of stone. We have plenty of uranium to keep us going for a while. But we have so many radio components, we could probably break that down in favor of something else. Okay. Let's see if we can patch up enough of this roof that we can start building scaffolding on new stuff. By new stuff, I mean the stuff that I already tore apart. I really do hate going back and redoing things I've already done, but you know, I'm not going to restart a new Hyperion here because I screwed up on one wall. Hopefully it turns out to be as good a ship as I hope it is, or as I think it will be. Of course, it's not a fighter, it's not even really luxurious. The only reason the Hyperion exists is to be a building platform and a home. And of course the home is far less important than the building platform is, where we can design other ships here and then build them on the dock outside. And this will be our whatchamacallit, this will be our refinery and things like that. Of course, we're having trouble making enough supplies for building it, but in all honesty, this is probably going to be one of the larger things we undertake, at least with the Hyperion that we have today. Looking at Vex's designs, I was thinking of a way to improve upon the Hyperion and to build a Hyperion Mark II with, you know, much more in terms of capability, in terms of refining, in terms of, you know, materials processing and creation. of supplies to build new ships. But of course, that's a project that's a long way off, and we really don't have enough people to warrant going out there and building a whole new set of ships. We're gonna have, you know, as for pilotable large ships, we have the Hyperion, we have the Red Dawn, and we're gonna be going into Project Shogun soon enough. And after that, I don't really know. We're probably just going to become space pirates, and we're going to have this will be our home vessel. The Red Dawn will more than likely just be a backup vessel because it's just a light cruiser. It can be beat up pretty easily, as has been proven by a certain mining transport. Project Shogun has been designed with the failures of Red Dawn in mind, and the primary reason for catastrophic system failure on the mining transport mission was largely that of loss of cockpit control and structural integrity, leading to an ejection of the pilot, and thus the inability for the Red Dawn to continue the mission. So to solve this problem, Shogun has an internally, or Project Shogun is being designed with a bridge that has no access to the outside world other than through hallways and doors. It has no windows and is completely encased in armor, such that in the event of a battle in which you lose all or almost all of the exterior weaponry, the pilots and crew will still be safe and sound on board the ship, and potentially use it as a way to ride out the storm. As long as you have one thruster, you can get away from the enemy ships and get to a safe distance. If worse comes to worse and you have to abandon the ship, it won't be in an area where you'll be under fire, more than likely. Now, putting yourself in a situation where the enemy is smart enough to pursue a crippled vessel is another problem entirely, and while I've been contemplating doing PvP series, we just don't have the people or the man-hours to do something like that. I was also thinking of going on one of those servers with a lot of people and doing PvP there, but again, we just don't have the hours in the day to put into building stuff like this. I mean, you think of how long it's taken us to build this, or even just that. It's quite some time, and it's really not the kind of thing that we can't dedicate that much time. Okay, question. The question becomes, can I fit this hologram in this, or do I have to make it one taller? Also, where is the connector? The connector's on the back there. Okay, yeah, it definitely has to be one taller, because we're not going to be able to fit. It'll be bouncing off the ceiling. Okay. Now let's sit down for a minute, because I need to regain my power. And then we'll work on raising this up one more level and then putting a roof on the darn thing. And that'll be the last thing that we have to do. We could obviously we could honestly put a pretty thin roof on it, but the way that panels work, it doesn't, I don't think it's going to be that feasible. I don't expect the roof to be coming under fire. If we have an asteroid hit, or a meteorite hit rather, that's one thing. But that's maybe the equivalent of one missile, maybe less. And it's not something I'm, particularly frightened of. Impacts happen, and it's likely that if the ship was designed, the Hyperion was designed that in the event of a catastrophic failure of any one object, it will still be able to continue on. Unfortunately, we don't have a secondary bridge, which is something that I came up with after the fact. Maybe I could put a control station in each of the guys' rooms. But that's something to think on for the future. I don't think pilot ejection is going to be something that I'll be particularly concerned about. Even in the event of an asteroid impact or a meteorite impact, sorry, I keep screwing those two up. Even in the event of a meteorite impact, it is highly unlikely that it will both breach the bubble and cause catastrophic damage to one of the seats. Which is not something I see happening. Oh, you know what? I can make this a little sleeker. And also save on resources at the same time. It may make things a little bit more flimsy, but once again, not worried about... Ow. Not worried about the, really critical structural integrity. Also, I could actually bend these in and hook the stuff upside down. That'd work, because we're not going to have anything that close to the walls. Basically doing what I didn't like over there. Or, you know, one level lower. What didn't work one level lower is going to work just fine here. See, I wish I could do something different with this. Just a little bit different. That's the way it's gonna be. Right? I can't, hold on. Inverted corner. But I don't think that's exactly what I want either. No, that's not what I want. Okay, never mind. I could get away. No, I couldn't. See, I'm trying to bring it to a point and have a beam across, but that's not gonna happen. What I could do this. And then... Now you see, but then if I do this... Hold on. That, it's gonna look weird. You guys see what I'm trying to do here, it's just not gonna pan out right. I'm just gonna leave that like that and see how this turns out. What I could do is I could just... Yeah, okay, you know what? Instead of bending it in here, I'm just gonna go ahead and make it a straight line, straight up and down. Make it quite obvious that this is supposed to be a pillar of some description. It'll rise out of the nacelles as if they aren't melted in any sort of way, which is completely true. And that means I've got to tear down a little section of this, but that's not really a big deal. It allows me to do what I've always envisioned. Actually, it allows me to do what I came up with very recently, and I think TBA is what he's... Okay, TBA messaged me. He won't be back. Alright, moving on. Back to building. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Spin this guy around. We're doing... construction. I really wish I could go after those guys. We have the steel plates to repair the Red Dawn, but I don't feel competent in flying it by myself, and I'd feel terribly bad if, you know, if I were to crash it, or, you know, get it destroyed. Thanks to, you know, thanks to Project Mining, or, you know, the mining transport mission, I no longer feel safe flying my own ship. So, spin these guys around the other side. Wrong way. And now I've screwed it up completely. Okay, there we are. Come on, spin this sucker around. Making it more streamlined. Whatever that's supposed to be, and however that matters in space. Then again, a lot of the famous streamliners, at least in railway form, really weren't aerodynamic at all. They just looked cool. You know, case in point is the Pennsy T1, probably my favorite engine of all time now. The Pennsy T1 being, or the favorite locomotive class at least. Pennsy T1 having a terrible problem with the streamlining, which would tend to curl smoke and basically throw it at the engineer. It would tuck it down along the sides of the locomotive and make it, you know, get everything sooty. It's less than ideal. But hey, something progress. Sometimes to make a cool engine, you've got to get soot on some people's faces. I don't know. Oh, for goodness sake, if you would just turn the way I want you to turn. This is such an impossible way to do things. There we are. Takes a lot of staring at the thing in the corner. Either it takes a lot of staring at the thing in the corner, or it takes a lot of just spinning it until it lines up right. I'm sure you guys understand which one I prefer. Eventually, you don't get the hang of it and get frustrated and quit. Wait, that's not motivational at all. Okay, so because we can't have half blocks or anything like that, we've got to bring this up one more. I'm trying to make sure I don't box anything in so that there's nothing unweldable, because that'd be unfortunate. Yeah, that has to be like that. There's really no two ways about it. See, that's the block that I would like there is precisely the block somebody was complaining about on the Space Engineers. Oh, subreddit. Just the other day, and I went, really, you use that? And then I realized that I come over here now and see how it would be useful, and realize that, hey, I'd like that block too. This goes to show you. Think about something. Or think about everything, really. Think about some things from time to time whenever you feel like it, and then think about most things. Never mind. That statement got out of hand. Okay, so we're gonna put a roof on this thing finally. I hope I have enough steel plates to at least build the framework. And then we're going to take a step back and see how it looks, and then that's going to be the end of the episode for today. Okay. I think I'm going to have enough steel plates. That's what it feels like. Maybe I can just spend them on trying to build part of this roof in futility. I'm not going to do any off-camera work because there's nobody here to do it with. I don't, you know. It looks weird. I don't like it. If it was one lower, it'd be acceptable, but now we just have this big open back area that could look way better. I don't know, I'm sure there's a way to paint it to make it look good. If I raised up the hallway, it'd be forgivable. Just put a curve on here. If I lengthened it, it'd work as well, but I can't because there are thrusters there. Now it just looks kind of short. Of course, we've got to extend out the platform a little bit more. Let me kind of get a feel for how that's going to look. We've got 4, and then the thing, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the... Put a marker here for that. We're going to have another section of this, and then we're going to count it. For now. If we want to build bigger, we can build bigger. You know what, actually, I should use up, before my energy runs out, I should use up the last of the steel plates, prepping this for welding as well, so that when I get people on here to work with me, I don't have to come down here and do any prototyping. Just say, hey, weld this, weld that, tote that barge, lift that bale, go get me iron, and build thruster components. That's all we're going to be doing for a little while. But despite the fact that we're missing an obnoxious amount of thruster components, the ship is almost done, sort of. Almost done with a little asterisk. Oh, nope, that's not good. These, whoa, 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 go back, go back. Oh, my S key got stuck. Just flew out of control. Losing my mind. Losing, you know, whatever. Okay, this goes there. Let's build the thing along the side until, oh, we're gonna run out of energy before we run out of steel. Hold on, I've got to make a conscious effort to use all these steel plates. Seriously, how many do I have left? 34. Okay, we can build 34 more things hopefully before we run out of energy. Come on, back up, back up. Three, four, five. Put that down, right? Oh, I need an interior plate for that. No! No. Grind that. Quickly.
Energy low.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna die. Come on, we can do it. Minimal energy. Yes! Ran out of steel plates. Alright. Run upstairs. Oh, good, we're not using nearly as much energy now that we're in gravity and walking around. Oh, back in the bubble where we started, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I'll see you next week with more Hyperion building. The ship is getting there. It's slowly but surely it's getting there. Train man out.